Let me go ahead here and start our video off by showing you our pasture here, what we've done. We did get in here, spray for the Lespedeza. That's such a problem here. When the Lespedeza is young, they'll eat it, and but unfortunately, when it gets older and more mature, or in this case, I'm allowing it to, the grass to come back. The Lespedeza becomes a weed. At least the type of Lespedeza we have in here. It's an undesirable trait. So what I did was we sprayed it. I allowed the Lespedeza to die. Then I turned right around and I came back in here after that was all done, and I clipped it. I just put my mower on high. We have a small pasture. It's not rutted up or anything, but I put the mower on high. I clipped it. I wanted the grasses to start coming back with some nice young growth. We're getting some nice rain today. So I did that through the entire pasture. All right. So this side we sprayed this side earlier, so I was able to mow it earlier. Then we get over here to this side, and I had to wait for the later spraying to connect. You can see we had a lot of Lespedeza spots out here. You can see where some of the brown spots. Lespedeza could also be some. That could be some spray. Could be from some dead grass, and it could also be where the where we had armyworms. It could also be armyworm issues. So we have that going on. Obviously, I have one locust tree down there that I'm going to get in there and I'm going to cut it and put some Tordon to prevent it from coming back. Other than that, this little draw in here from that particular Osage orange stumps all the way down was full of nothing but trashy trees. Kind of like what you see on the other side of the fence. You have trees that are just they're just growing and they're thick and there's no grass growing. If a tree is shading out my grass, I need to, in my book, that's taking out potential food for my cows. So bottom line is, I turned right around, I came in here and I sprayed to try to kill the Lespedeza. Then I came in and I clipped it. All right, wonderful. I did the same thing on the other side. Something that Brett and I did yesterday, because I learned something yesterday, or I learned something there in the last month, and it all happened at my little part of my side yard over here, right? This is my little tiny pasture, not very big. It's a little side yard to our house and all that. And I said, it just a pain. I just tired of mowing and mowing and mowing. I thought, well, let me just fence this little area off here. And the reason that dog is, I just threw that over the fence and haven't moved it over that doghouse. That being said, I turned right around and I had the calves in here, the two heifers. Well, there's some grass in here they don't really want to eat. But I had a couple of days where we got busy and I never got back in here, and I noticed something, that the cows were actually eating some grass they didn't really want to eat, but because there's nothing, they've already ate down the stuff they want to eat. They've already eaten it down. They started actually feeding on some less palatable grass. Let me put it that way. So the lesson, I guess, is if with a little bit of coaxing, saying, no, I'm not moving you just yet. I'm not going to move you. You're going to have to eat. You got to eat some of that stuff you don't want to eat. That type of a thing. All of a sudden, guess what? They ate it. And so I said to Brett, let's go ahead and get this other fence line in. So yesterday we went ahead, in addition to fixing the arbor, which I'm going to show you a little bit later for the blackberries, we went ahead and we stuck this fence in. Now, all of this is and then basically this is my gateway, and I just have this. So now I have this small pasture, this acre, divided, or acre and a tenth, divided into 3 different sections. And the problem with this, the good and the bad, the good news is this side of the fence has native prairie, which they love to eat. They love to eat it. They love to eat it so much they don't really want to feed anywhere else. So we're gonna stop that. They have shade right here in the middle. This ain't much, but these trees here also shade. So bottom line is they can still lay down up here. We can still get water here. We can still get water to here too, as far as that goes. But we're going to stop them from using the whole pasture as one big feeding area. So if I were to move them in right now, that pasture would be the one they'd be restricted to for the time being. And then of course, they'll want, when this side comes up, then I'll go ahead and bring them in here. They'll be glad to come in here, believe me. They'll want to get better grass, but we'll force them to eat some of the weeds over there they don't want to eat, and that type of thing. In the meantime, I also got a chance to get in here and improve some of the pasture, some overseeding in this case. Try to get some brome grass seed in here this fall and that type of a thing. So just something there that we're trying to do, improve the grass, give the ground a little bit more of a mob feeding per se, smaller areas, force them into eating more of the grass, and then get them off of that grass so that the grass can recover and not have the daily pressure over and over and over on the ground. We don't want it to get to a point where it's bare dirt or anything like that. I'm not trying to suggest that, but I do know that the calves will eat some stuff that they don't want to eat if forced to do so. So the same thing here. I want them grazing this type of ground. Now this pasture's probably not as beneficial in the early spring. It's a wetter area. There's a reason probably why I had so good of so many willow trees in here. I think there's a well on Brett's side of the fence. On the other side, there's an old hand dug well. And I'll bet you money there's a pretty good, there's at least a spring. Maybe it'll run dry later on or whatever, but this is a very wet area. So springtime, this spot might need to be skipped a little bit or a very short time because they'll muck it up. We don't need that. But for summertime, when all else is having trouble getting grass, this is a good area right down there at the bottom. So definitely want to take care of that. The biggest area, and you see that hillside, you see where the grass is kind of thin. Well, I don't need them in there very long. I need them in there for a little while and move them out of there. So by the time they move all through all three areas, then Delia and I can go ahead and move them up into here and move them over to the other side. So that's what we're doing. That's what we did. So anyway, let's go on out there and take a look at the rest of the farm. But that's kind of a lot of fun seeing how that one reacted. Let's duplicate the same thing over here. So very fun on that one, but glad to get this. You know, folks, this is the first time that I've been able to mow this entire area minus the one locust tree. This is the first time that I've been able to mow that entire area. I can't tell you how thrilled I was that I could mow it, and we have grass growing. I know it's a big deal to us that we can actually have some grass. So I'd like to get some brome in here and overseed some of that and harrow that in a little bit I'll just come in here one day and mow her tight and throw some seed in and harrow it in to kind of help it, and hopefully we get a nice rain to drop it in. So all right, let me keep going. So you are taking care of Brett's cows today, huh?
They get to have some snacks.
They get to have snacks. All right, where are the girls at?
They were behind the tomato house when I was picking tomatoes.
Yeah, all right. Well, maybe hopefully they didn't wander too far. Brett said that they really like eating tomatoes. Yeah, we didn't throw them out far enough.
Well,
anyway, we didn't throw them out far enough, and so got close enough to the gate. We're going to start having our fence being pushed up because somebody's trying to stretch it. How you doing, cows? Boss cows? Look how they moved that. Look how they moved the ladder.
Because there was some that like chopped and actually fell between the rungs of the ladder.
Yeah, they got it. Boss cow.
If I try to do that and throw it between the rungs.
Here you go. They got some baby calves.
Oh, I see a little white face.
Yep, got an old black baldy out there. I don't know if that's Cookie's mom or not, or that one could be.
Look what I got, your favorite cucumbers. Come on, you little.
Here, let me get one really close.
How are they getting up?
Yeah, got some coming. Show them your throwing skills. That was a play. Wow. That was Mahomes and Tyquan Thornton right there.
Come on, you lazy girls. Get your butts
Yeah, get your butts up. There's plenty of tomatoes. She breaks them into cucumbers in half. These are some cucumber eating cows, I tell you that. Tomato eating cows, cucumber eating cows. Look at there's 3 calves out there. 2 other ones laying down.
Come on, lazy girls. I remember one day I had a pile of overgrown cucumbers and I left it around maybe 3 feet from the fence, and I went to get a knife to cut them in half. And the one had her face all the way.
Yeah, they'll lay
with
down.
her tongue sticking out as far as she could get it.
You're just cruel.
No, I didn't.
So this is where she puts them.
I didn't want
And she
them to
does.
get it.
She's inside in there, and they're not good tomatoes, so she kind of just kicks them out. But she's starting something. Yeah. Yeah. They're like water apples, ain't they, girls?
These are really gone. I won't feed
Yep.
them.
Not gonna feed the over ones. Yep. They can go to compost.
Cucumbers. Yeah, just eat those cucumbers.
That calf there might be.
He's got big boobies.
That cow there, she's a little more private. See how she's
Maybe she
walking
just has
away?
a baby because the baby's following her.
Yep, the baby's pretty small. It's tagged though. Brett's already been on the job. There's one without any tags.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
See the one on the left that's
Yeah.
laying down? He ain't have any
One there.
tags.
Is one of you their mama?
Yeah, Brett, you know.
Did you have twins? For those two?
No, I'm not saying never, but probably not. Look at that big old bag on her. Yeah, she got some heavy milk right now. Yeah, now they're moving in. You're going to have to toss yours farther out now. You're going to have fence pushing just right here because they're trying to get to you. This is one of your favorite activities, ain't it, Delia? It is a joy on the farm,
Sorry,
isn't
I
it?
didn't mean to hit you in the tummy. It bounced off the ground and hit her in the tummy.
Yeah.
And they do come up and eat it out of your hand.
Yep. There's one's got to push her way in.
Let's see if I can.
So one thing there that tell people the caution of feeding stuff to the cows.
It might give them indigestive issues.
And what I mean, it can all certain things can also
Right.
actually it could be poisonous to
Some, yeah.
the cattle, and
So
it could also
whenever-
cause abortions.
So I always Google what I can feed to them when I have it.
Yep.
Like I had a couple of peppers today and I Googled it and it says they don't particularly like the taste. It won't hurt them, but they don't particularly like the taste.
Okay.
You want to get it? Oh, you are the one that has those crazy ears.
Yep. She does got some gnarly looking ears, don't you? 184. You know what those ears are? Those are called stick tights on
Yeah. That's what they
on her
are.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what she sticks her head in, but
Look at the you were talking about the bull being ugly. I'm going to tell Brett you said that the bull's ugly. I just want you to know that. But also you look at the girls, you know, his ears lay down, and you look over here at this black baldy here, and and you notice how the older they get, the more laid down their ears are. So yeah.
that one, poof.
Yeah. Boof! Boof! Anyway, yeah, that's good. There's a lot to eat out here if they just get walking around and looking for them. Poor the flies.
Are terrible.
Look at the size of the cows there compared to our little. I mean, we're so used to our little young heifers. You look at old 184 and. All right, Delia, that was fun feeding the cows. Tell us about what you're seeing on the tomatoes now.
They are finally starting to ripen.
They're starting to ripen. And what do you think of the quality of the fruit right now as a whole?
They're getting much better.
Yep.
They're getting larger.
Yep. They are getting bigger. Everything in here.
They're not having too many issues with bugs and
No.
and the blossom end and all that. I haven't gotten to that road yet.
Yeah. No. It's all good. But I just looking here, and it's just amazing how much more fruit we have. There's one inside there. It's on the other side, but yeah, look at that. Got a little bit of blossom in, not terrible, but yeah, you got a lot of fruit coming on, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are nice. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful tomato.
Yesterday or the day before.
Yesterday.
And
But look at this one.
big,
Look at that one.
two big giant bins. Yep.
STM 2255.
Yep. And I got two big giant bins, and I'm already got almost one full one.
And so yesterday you said you did 40 pounds?
Oh, I did probably 80 pounds each.
Oh, 80 pounds of tomatoes yesterday. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, nice. Why did we pick them? Why are we not letting them sit on the vine?
So they don't.
Just so people know.
They don't crack and bugs don't get them, and what else can happen to them?
I mean, when we water, we don't want them to. Once they're already turning, they're more susceptible to cracking. You know, just from watering them. These STMs have already. I'm 6 foot tall. You are at my height. Right now, this is my vision as I look through the thing. So you can see how tall this determinate plant has gotten in here. Really.
Now, most of the fruit right now is coming from the first 4 rows over here.
Well, okay. They're a little more mature. They started recovering quicker. My goodness, isn't this something? I just need to come in here and start whacking away at some of these.
Yeah, start not letting them produce anymore.
Yeah, this up here, it needs to stop because we need good fruit, don't we?
Yeah. Where's my basket?
Yeah,
Can I take it up? Oh no, there's my basket.
Here, I'll hand these to you while you're right there.
Bring me that basket.
Whoop, whoop. Yep, you got a full basket. Look at that. Yep, here you go. You just saw them cows and you had to do it, didn't you? I don't blame you. That's fun.
They're staring at me.
They're staring at
I
you.
don't like being stared at. They're staring at me.
They're stalking you?
Yeah.
Cow stalking? Okay. All right, folks. Well, we're going to keep going here, but this is what Delia's actually picking off of right now. I don't know. Look, you can see the cows through through the back. Yeah. And no, this is wonderful. I mean, we finally are getting back to producing some fruit again, and that's just. It's been a long time since we really had good fruit right now. So you picked 80 pounds yesterday. This is today.
Yep. This is what should have been happening last month.
We missed opportunity, didn't we?
We did.
So I tell you that number one, it was hot. Let's be straight up in that. It's hard to get a tomato when it's 96 degrees to set fruit. I don't care who you are. That's awfully hard. So maybe you use cool cells, meaning water evaporation or something like that. Maybe that would do. I don't know. Just saying that there's the big companies obviously do know how to continue getting some fruit, but in a high tunnel situation with our shade cloth on, and you add the disease pressure. That's probably the big thing. We had the leaf mold, we had spider mites, we also have a bad. Everybody's spraying here for armyworm. Everybody's spraying for armyworm. Those armyworms are in here. We have seen them in here as well. So all of a sudden you got all of this stuff happening. That doesn't count aphids. That doesn't count any other little critter that shows up. So when you have that much pressure going up against you, I think that's our issue. So, but now they're coming. See right here. Look at this. What kind of worm would do that? What is that? I'm going to take that off. Look at that.
Yep. Is he in there or no?
I don't know. Is that him?
No. I don't think this is the worm. Sometimes they grow like that where you can see the inside of the tomato, but it's not. A
critter had to chew the outside edge and says it's not ready.
No. I don't think I picked any of those today.
If you guys know, let us know.
The whole side.
This is what we do.
Like that. That's not done by a bug. That's just how the tomato was formed.
Could be a healing. The Healing. A new movie. The Healing. All right, we'll keep going here. Okay, next update on our farm, and of course our asparagus looks amazing. Still looks good. There is the bull and 2 heifers. There was a lot of heat going on with the with the black baldy, old Cookie there. And, you know, as many times as she was chummying up to him, we never saw him jump her. And then all of a sudden, she's kind of walking away and he's trying to jump her. So I don't know. We assume that they got bred. Now the black one, old Lily Beth, I'll be honest, we saw her mounting the bull, showing signs of heat, or expressing signs of heat. It could just been the excitement of everything, but we never saw the bull ever pay any attention to Lily Beth. So it's possible all the attention went to Cookie, the black baldy, and that's it. So peaches, let's look at them. Looking okay. They're all looking okay. Very happy. Got a couple curling right there, but for the most part all the leaves look like a peach, and I don't see any deer damage whatsoever, so happy about that. Yeah, don't want the deer to be eating them, and definitely do not want the bucks rubbing on them. So that's where we stand right now. There's our little maple tree, sugar maple. And you know, even though this got the crap beat out of it in the back of my truck from the wind, you know, the leaves that are still there, right? So anyway, we'll deal with it. I kind of like how they started the scaffolding, right? They started the scaffolding. So pretty cool about that. That's one of the reasons we kind of liked getting those particular trees, is we felt like they had them somewhat already kind of given us an idea of how to trim them to get some stuff going. We are novices, as you can tell, and I think we can. And right there you see how they stopped that one and got a little scaffolding going. I know that when you get into things, this is a peach red haven, you get into things like this, a lot of guys don't like, you know, they'll clip something like that off and let that one grow over there and all of that. We'll research it. And I think with fruit trees, you know, I'll be better at it in 10 years as I am today, right? As I watch it grow. I do trim a redbud tree around our house, and it's kind of fun. If there's anything that can teach you a little bit about shaping, and this is not to insult the peach people or the apple people, but you do, if you've been trimming a tree like the redbud, and you're trying, and what it was is this side of the tree was non-existent, and this side of the tree had too much foliage, so it was kind of looked like it was lopsided. So over the course of the last 6 years, every February, and a nice warm February day, I'm ready to go out, mow down my asparagus, and the next thing I do is I say, okay, well, let me go ahead and trim my redbud. And it's been kind of fun watching that go the right way. All right, so next farm thing we're going to look at, yeah, it's a lot of weeds. Hard to believe there's a lot of black plastic, isn't there? But there is. The weeds are actually growing right there on the edges. And of course they're coming in through the rows, but the grass is just incredibly hard. All this stuff. You have a hole in black plastic, I'm telling you, they're coming out. We don't have anything growing in here. Nothing's growing, but we do have a lot of weeds. So we'll have to get all that out. Look at these, look at how well our eggplants have grown this year. They have, you know, they're getting near the end. But we have harvested a tremendous amount of eggplant. I see some of them are over mature, and that's too bad we didn't get them picked. But we have some really big eggplant, nice and solid. The eggplant has done, all this out here has grown very well. We harvested our cabbages, and we harvested our, you know, our lettuces heads, and we done a lot of that stuff. So onions, awesome onions, awesome garlic, all that has came from earlier video, and I think I have everything pretty well deleted. If I have it, I will put it on the before and after. Of course, we see the after now, how much everything has grown, but you know, we have so much time in a day. Okay, the next thing, this is where Delia yesterday has started harvesting some zucchini. Isn't it? Look at that zucchini. Young plant. This is, yeah, that one's definitely, she'll pick that one up. And the variety, I believe, is Paycheck. I think the variety's Paycheck. But nonetheless, and then remember I had to do a replant. I think I put it on there. I had to do a replant, or Delia did a replant of the replant. What does that mean? It means they're the bugs. After she planted the seeds back in the hole, the dang insects were already here. And they just came up and chomped it off, and you know, and we had to start over again, had to start all over. Gotten yellow squash. She does have yellow squash today, no doubt about it. So that's good news. Very, very, very good news to see that yellow squash in there. So today is a market day. I think she'd probably run uptown after a bit, and I'll let her know about that one, because if she does go to market, she's going to want to get it. Do have our okra, but we're getting these bumps in here. We're getting some, like, I don't know what you'd call it. I mean, I don't see insects. I don't see anything, but it certainly is an issue. Like, this is a perfect. These with the big scabs, we're going to cut them and pitch them. If they are edible, I don't mind doing them for ourselves, but I don't think other people want them. But like that one's a perfect okra. So we'll harvest that. But really nice okra, zucchini, yellow squash. I'm happy we're going to start having that again. If I could go back and do this side again, I would. I love this. By the way, do you see the lack of weeds in this solid plastic area? I mean, they're just, I mean, yeah, we've done a little weeding in the holes, you can see. But the fact is that this is how you keep the bugs at bay to some degree. Spraying some 7 on them on a weekly basis is also key. I know a lot of guys don't like, if you don't like it, don't do it. But the fact is that this is just phenomenal. This is phenomenal. So if I could, I would have an equal area. I'd move it down. I'd have it ready to go. Maybe plant it a month later. So inevitably, we know what's going to happen. Bugs are going to get in here. Them vine borers, they're going to get in there. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I'd have a second batch. Getting some more rain. Let me run out here. Let's look at our blackberries. I'll show you what we did yesterday on the blackberries. I think you guys are going to like that. I was finally getting some stuff done. Me and old Brett working on it. Something I'm trying to do, and Delia's we're going to put snow fence. The deer ate my blackberry vines last year. They ate them. It's the reason why you see blackberries so short this time of year. That and some other reasons, but they had to start from scratch again. And as you've seen, we're doing tip layering. And I don't see nothing coming up yet. But we do have some tip layering. But here's what we did. We put up our trellis. We got our trellis up. And one lesson, let me go pick up this steel. One lesson we learned is we had to come out yesterday took a chainsaw and we put a support wire. And even though I put these on an angle, by the time you're trying to tighten up your high tensile arbor, you know, it was pulling that post over. So anyway, we stuck another post in. I got a 24-inch rebar stake. It has a washer welded to the top of it, and wound it up to, you know, add some tension. Didn't go too crazy. I mean, just for the record, see, I can move that. It's the fact is you can't overdo it, because all you're doing is going to pull all your posts in. You just want to have it a little bit snug, so to kind of keep everything up. So very exciting to be out here in the blackberries. Very happy to see all of this. And like I said, the tip layering, we got that going on. I know we got a double here somewhere. Oh, here's the double. Yeah, she has a double tip layering in the ground. She had problems with one of them wanting to pull out of the ground, so we had to stick it back in and reconnect it. But anyway, still moving forward. Looks like to me some more positive things are happening here. Very happy about that. Again, we also have, I didn't mention this, but on top or on each one of these arbors, I'm assuming this stuff's going to kind of want to shrink, so I did put turnbuckles on each end, and we'll see. I have no idea, folks, but that's what I did. So I did 18 inches and 44 inches on my line. It just felt good to me. I could always drop it. I can always move everything down. Not the end of the world at all. So yeah, that's that. A small high tunnel in here. Got a lot of peppers in here. Turn right around the cucumbers. They are growing fantastic. Look at that. I mean, it's our best cucumber year. Really having good bell peppers. Unfortunately, the crowds have backed off a little bit. So we have that going on. It's kind of crowded in here. It's late season. So we'll go ahead and keep her going. But I wanted to show you there that we have a lot of produce still coming out of the high tunnel in here, the small high tunnel. So big high tunnel, small high tunnel. It's the very best cucumbers you've ever had, ain't it, as far as numbers and all that?
By now, usually they're on their way out.
Usually they're on their way out, but we're going to pick a row here,
right,
and get maybe some spinach planted or something.
Side, I'm going to start at the end and start pulling them down.
Yep, just we're not getting the sales that we're actually feeding cows, as you saw, with a lot of cucumbers. Not because they're bad cucumbers, we can't eat them fast enough, and neither can our customers buy them. So it's just where we're at in this time of year. Kids are already back in school, and we just don't get the people coming out to the farmers market like we did. Folks, if you like these types of videos, do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe. Come grow with us.